Time to wake up. Ancient wisdom for a new mind, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed seekers of truth and fellow travelers on this grand journey of existence. Today we gather not merely as individuals, but as a collective heartbeat yearning to break free from the chains of limitation. We stand at a crossroads in human history, where the noise of distraction drowns out the whispers of our souls, where the pace of modern life leaves us breathless, and where the weight of the world threatens to eclipse the light within. But what if I told you that the keys to liberation have always been here, hidden in plain sight, etched into the annals of ancient wisdom? What if the path to a new mind, a mind unshackled, radiant, and limitless, has been waiting for us to reclaim it? This is not a speech. This is a wake-up call. The hour is late, and the stakes have never been higher. We live in an age of unprecedented technological advancement, yet we are more disconnected than ever from ourselves, from one another, and from the sacred rhythms of life. We scroll through screens but forget to gaze at the stars. We accumulate knowledge but lose touch with wisdom. We chase external validation but neglect the universe within. It's time to awaken. The illusion of separation. We are stardust entangled. Let us begin with the oldest truth, one echoed by sages, mystics, and indigenous elders across millennia. We are not separate. We are threads in the cosmic tapestry, droplets in the ocean of consciousness. The ancient Vedic seers proclaimed, Tat Tvamac, thou art that. The indigenous peoples of the Americas speak of Mitakuye Oyasin, all my relations. Even the Stoics of Greece taught that we are citizens of a universal city, bound by the Logos, the divine reason that permeates all things. Yet modernity has sold us a lie, that we are isolated islands, competing for resources, trapped in bodies that decay and minds that doubt. But science is now catching up to spirituality. Quantum physics reveals a universe where particles communicate instantaneously across vast distances, entanglement, proving that separation is an illusion. The double-slit experiment shows us that particles behave differently when observed, suggesting consciousness itself shapes reality. We are not passive bystanders in a mechanical universe. We are active participants in a living, breathing field of energy. The power of presence. Where eternity meets now, the second pillar of ancient wisdom is the art of presence. The Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree and vowed not to rise until he pierced the veil of illusion. What did he discover? That liberation lies not in the past or future, but in the eternal now. The Tao Te Ching teaches that the Tao is found in the uncarved block, the simplicity of being. The Sufi poet Rumi wrote, "You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop." Yet today, our minds are fractured. We multitask, we worry, we replay old wounds, and we fear tomorrow. Neuroscience confirms that a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. Studies show that 47% of our waking hours are spent lost in thought, 47%. But when we anchor ourselves in the present, we activate the prefrontal cortex, the brain's seat of focus and creativity. We tap into what psychologists call flow, a state where time dissolves. Practical step, commit to daily mindfulness. Sit in silence for 10 minutes each morning. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. When thoughts arise, label them past or future and return to the rhythm of now. Presence is not a passive state. It is a radical act of reclaiming your power. Every thought you think is a quantum instruction, a ripple in the field of possibility. Negative thoughts, fear, doubt, resentment, strengthen neural pathways that keep you small. Positive thoughts, gratitude, vision, love, forge new highways of potential. But this is not mere positive thinking. This is the alchemical process of transmuting leaden habits into golden awareness. Story. Imagine two gardeners. One plants seeds of doubt. Nothing ever grows here. The other tends her garden with care. What if this soil holds miracles? Which garden thrives? Your mind is that soil. Practical step, become the guardian of your mental garden. Start a thought journal. For 7 days, Document every limiting belief. Then rewrite each one as an empowering statement. I am stuck becomes I am evolving. I can't becomes I choose to learn. Da Wev. The wisdom of the heart, the intelligence beyond logic. Ancient cultures revered the heart as the seat of the soul. The Egyptians left the heart intact during mummification, believing it would be weighed against the feather of Ma'at in the afterlife. The Hindu Upanishads describe the heart as a lotus, its petals unfolding to reveal divine light. Modern science now confirms the heart's intelligence. Practical step: practice heart-centered breathing. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe deeply into that space for 5 minutes daily. Visualize a warm, radiant light expanding with each breath. Ask yourself, what would love choose? Let this guide your actions. V. The ritual of renewal. Ancient ceremonies for modern lives, from the sweat lodges of the Lakota to the vision quests of the Amazon. Ancient peoples understood the power of ritual to mark transitions and invoke transformation. The Japanese tea ceremony elevates simplicity to sacred art. The Jewish Sabbath carves out time for rest in a world obsessed with productivity. Rituals are not superstitions, they are psychological anchors signaling to the subconscious that change is possible. VI. The call to awaken, writing the next chapter of humanity. We are not here to repeat the past. We are here to birth a new reality. The Hopi prophecy speaks of the fifth world, an era of peace emerging from the ashes of the old. The Mayans calculated the end of their calendar not as an apocalypse, but as a new cycle of consciousness. This is our moment. Create your own rituals. A morning routine of meditation, movement, and intention setting. An evening practice of gratitude and release. Even something as simple as lighting a candle before work can shift your state from chaos to sacred focus.
Oh, so weak.
Combine ancient elements. Fire, a candle; water, a glass of intention; earth, a grounding stone; and air, deep breaths. Spend 15 minutes each morning in this sacred space, declaring, "Today I choose to awaken." But transformation is not a passive event. It demands courage to confront the shadows within, to forgive old wounds, to dare greatly. It requires community, circles of support where vulnerability is strength. And it begins with a single choice: to stop sleepwalking and start soul living. What will you do with your awakening? Will you return to the comfort of the familiar, or will you step into the unknown, armed with ancient wisdom and a heart on fire? So let us rise. Let us reclaim the wisdom of our ancestors and fuse it with the promise of tomorrow. Let us dissolve the illusion of separation, anchor in the now, and alchemize our thoughts into bridges to the future. Let us lead with heart, honor ritual, and awaken not just for ourselves but for generations yet unborn. The time is now. The power is yours. The world is waiting. Wake up.